morning, Brooklyn class, and welcome back to Homeschool with Carly. Happy Tuesday! Today, we are going to do a really fun science activity. And this science activity is something that has to do with around this time of year. So, if you were to travel to a hotter climate, such as California or Florida even, where it's nice and warm, what happens is there is a lot of moisture in the air, right? It can be humid, and a lot of times during the humid summer, there are types of storms that happen called tornadoes. And we are going to make our own tornado. And you only need a couple of materials. So let's get started. The first material that you're going to need is a glass jar with a top filled with water. So I filled my glass jar quite close to the top, but not exactly. I don't think it matters for this experiment. You can just fill it to as high as you want, but the higher you fill it, the more you'll be able to see your tornado. So next, you're going to want to grab some dish soap, okay? And I'm just using some regular old plain Palmolive dish soap. So the first thing you're going to want to do to make your tornado is grab that glass jar and fill it with water if you haven't already. Make sure your glass jar has a top. Now my top has a hole because I use this for a straw. However, you can cover your finger over the hole and it will work just fine. So if you do have a jar that has a cap that doesn't have a hole, you might want to use that instead. So, after you've filled your glass jar with water, the next thing you're going to want to do is grab that dish soap and put a couple drops of dish soap into the water, okay? So, we're going to play around with this. So I would say like a couple of drops. So I added it, it changed the consistency of the water, okay? Enough that I see it floating in the water. Next, you're going to take your cap and put it on top of your glass jar and tighten it up. Now, all we're going to do is we're going to shake the jar, okay? So, you might want to try different ways of shaking. So, we could try shaking it in a circular motion. We could try shaking it in an upward motion. Whoa, you see the tornado? So, what I did to make that tornado is spin it clockwise. And you see the tornado? How cool is that? And all we used is dish soap. So why is this happening? Well, when you spin this glass jar in the circular motion, you're making everything go in that direction. Then, what you're going to notice is that the soap is a different consistency than the water. Water is H2O, but this is something entirely different. So, this material likes to stay together. So, when you spin it in that clockwise or counterclockwise direction, the soap goes in the direction as the water, but it stays together. And it forms a tornado inside the glass jar. And all you have to do is spin your jar in a circular direction, and then you watch the tornado. It is so cool. It's a storm in a jar. So I hope you enjoyed this experiment, and I will see all of you on Wednesday. Bye!